Okay, let's dive in. We got your question about Moodam, starting around June 14th and what that's all about. So we've looked through the source material you shared to really get a handle on this term.
Yeah, it's interesting how these traditional astrological ideas still pop up and influence how people think about timing things. Mudyam is a classic example of that kind of framework.
Right, and the sources frame it not just as, like, a date, but a specific kind of time, astrologically speaking, a time that's thought to affect whether it's a good idea, an auspicious time for doing certain major things.
That's exactly it. The material points to it happening when the sun's in certain constellations,
Hmm.
but the real key, the core idea mentioned, involves planets like Jupiter, that's Guru, and Venus, which is Sukra, specifically when they are in combustion.
Combustion. Okay, what do the sources mean by that? It's not like they actually catch fire, right?
Uh-huh. No, not literally burning.
Yeah.
The source explains combustion sometimes. It's called Mudami, or Maujami. Basically means the planet is super close to the sun from our view here on Earth.
Ah, so close that the sun's glare just hides it. You can't see it.
Exactly, lost in the light. And, Jupiter and Venus, Guru and Sukra, they're considered really important, really beneficial planets in this tradition the source talks about. They're linked to good stuff, prosperity, wisdom, happiness, success, big life events often.
Okay, so if these beneficial planets are hidden, what does that do to their influence, according to the source material?
Well, the idea presented is that when they're combust, their positive power, their auspicious energy is significantly reduced or maybe blocked. So the traditional thinking is if you start something really important, then it might not get that full positive planetary boost. Could lead to, well, maybe less success or more hurdles.
Got it. So the cosmic good vibes are sort of turned down for certain activities. Which brings us to the practical side. What activities do the sources specifically say, maybe don't do these during Mujam?
Right. Looking at the sources, the big ones are major life events. Weddings are top of the list. The belief mentioned is that Guru and Sukra are key for a happy, prosperous marriage, so their weakened state isn't ideal for starting one.
Okay, weddings. What else?
Also things like moving into a new house, the ceremony, Griha Pravesh, or even starting major construction on a house and undertaking big journeys, especially like moving somewhere new permanently, starting fresh in a new place.
Makes sense. What about business or money stuff?
Yep, those are mentioned too, like launching a new business venture, making really significant investments, or even setting up formal partnerships. The advice seems to be to hold off on major financial or business beginnings.
So personal milestones, financial starts, anything about buying, like, big assets.
That's there too. Buying or selling major property, land, houses. The source even includes buying new vehicles like cars or significant amounts of gold or jewelry, things you'd often buy for a fresh start or celebration.
Wow. Okay, that's a pretty broad list of things traditionally put on hold. But are there things the source material says are okay? Like exceptions?
Oh, absolutely. The sources are very clear on this. Your daily spiritual routines, prayers, worship, chanting, meditation, those are totally fine. In fact, they're still considered beneficial. Those practices aren't affected. Keep doing them.
Good to know that distinction. Anything else exempt?
Yes. And this is important. Medical stuff.
Hmm.
If you need surgery or you're undergoing treatment, that's not affected by Mudyam considerations, according to the sources. Health comes first, obviously.
Yeah.
You don't postpone necessary medical care for this.
Right. That makes perfect sense. It's about choosing timing for new things, not stopping essential life support or daily practices. Okay, so let's just quickly recap what we found in your sources for everyone listening. Budyam is this astrological idea based on the traditional belief that when planets like Jupiter and Venus are combust and visible near the sun, their helpful influence is weaker.
Exactly. And because of that, the tradition outlined in the sources advises against starting certain big things. Weddings, new homes, new businesses, major purchases. But crucially, daily prayers and necessary medical care are exceptions.
And the sources also seem to emphasize that, look, this is a traditional astrological perspective. Whether you follow it today, how you apply it, that's really presented as up to you, a personal decision.
Precisely. It's information based on a particular belief system.
Which kind of leaves us, and you, with a final thought to chew on. These ancient ways of thinking about the stars and planets clearly shaped how people timed things for ages. How do those old ideas about celestial timing still echo, or maybe even clash, with how we make decisions and plan our lives in today's world? Something to think about.